Ask Dan Schneider. Patrick Galvin asked me, what is your process for writing a critical essay? He also asked a few other questions I'll answer along the way too. Number one, I don't really have a process. I'll watch something, I'll write down a few notes, maybe 4 or 5 major points, and then I'll start writing it. In the process of writing, you recapitulate what you saw or what you read, and more ideas come to fruition. It's called organic writing. This works critically, it works creatively. Most people cannot do this, and this is why most writing, critical or creative, is really pretty bad. Patrick further asked, do you outline before writing? No. As I just stated, I don't have an outline. Even when I'm doing creative writing, I just finished an over 500,000 word science fiction book, and I had a few major ideas. I plotted out the number of chapters, and then I would plunk in a few things through the chapters, but most of the chapters were blank then. Critically, when you're doing a critical essay or a review of a film, you're only talking maybe 1 to 2,000 words. To have to plot that out or to outline that seems an egregious waste of time. It says you don't really have much thought if you have to do that. I'm just far beyond that creatively when I'm doing that. When reviewing something you haven't experienced before, say a film, how many times do you watch it before setting down to write? Well, that depends. If I'm doing a DVD review, certainly I'll watch the film without the commentary, but then I'll watch it with the commentary. So that in that way, I'll watch it twice. If there's 2 commentary tracks, I'll watch it 3 times, etc., etc. I can't think of any film that I saw, even in DVD, that I had to go back a second time and watch. I don't need to do that. Now, I may have sometimes watched a film years ago and never written about it, and then come back and written about it, but that's about it. Patrick also asked, have you ever rewritten an essay? Wrote an entire draft, wasn't satisfied with it, and rewrote it from the ground up? No, simply no. Has your process changed in your years online? No, except I've gotten better as a writer in all aspects of it. So I guess in that sense, the process of knowing beforehand, before I even put the words down, how to best put words in the best order, that has improved. The only essay that I guess I have a little discomfort with was an essay that I wrote about some short stories by a woman whose name slips my mind now. The Ernie's Ark book, it was called. I forget the name of the writer. That I gave it probably too much praise because I had probably read 8 or 10 or 12 really bad books of short stories right before then. And this was a book of very good short stories. There's maybe 2 or 3 great ones. And I did overpraise it. And I have revised subsequent reviews of it a little bit downward. I think I said it was a great book of short stories. I would say it was an excellent book of short stories, but not a great one. So that's the only time I probably overpraise it. And I'm mortal, I'm human, and after being, bombarded by the bad writings of Joyce Carol Oates or T.C. Boyle or David Foster Wallace, her work looked, pretty good, if not far better in comparison. But then over the next 5 or 6 years in looking at it, I probably overpraised it too much. So that's about it, and thanks for the question.